up guys, it's me Lizzie and welcome back to another episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. This one's going to be a little bit longer as well, maybe not an hour like the last one because I think I went a little bit overboard on that. This one's maybe going to be like 40 minutes, but I don't think we're going to get to any horror stuff in this episode either because it takes about 3 hours for like the horror stuff to really start, and we're only an hour, I want to say an hour and a half in, or like maybe 2 hours in, something like that. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to the horror stuff in this episode. Probably the next episode though. So we're gonna load the game and that one. So I think we're sharing our poems again, I believe. Okay. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? So I guess we just read all of our poems. I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. I'm gonna lower my chair because I feel like I'm too tall. That never happens. Sayori has been working on posters and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all. But what does that tell us about, but that doesn't tell us that, what we're actually gonna be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're gonna be having a poetry performance. Yuri does not look good. Each of us are gonna choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is we're going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting in on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Hehehe. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't. You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys. No, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite poems aloud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and put on a good performance, then it will inspire us, and then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what Literature Club is about. Now, from my own experience, no offense, but nobody is gonna come up and recite poetry. Nobody. Yeah. It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And for those, and it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them and find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know I do. I know we all do. And if that takes standing in front of a room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. They are very unsure. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Well, Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Whew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri is not going to read anything. Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. Aha, that's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh, you'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reading them in front of each other. No, no way. Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to recite it in front of strangers? It's a good point. Oh no, don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. Then she stands behind the podium. Okay, well, it's one thing to ask them to read poems. It's another thing to ask them to read their own poetry. Like, that's too much. Like, read someone else's poem or something like that. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins to recite her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. This is something she's done before, or is it simply natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Ooh. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. I think she's jealous. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. Go. It is called After Mage of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts to read the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? Because she's jealous. She's jealous of everyone else, especially Monica. As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets bored in her books. Her quivering words transform into sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns and structure that she I'm so stupid. Enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse of the whirling fire that Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly she finishes. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me after, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were so caught off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back to her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks over to the podium. This one is called My Meadow. It's gonna be a very cutesy poem, isn't it? Aha! Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to read more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Lizzie liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours that were sort of gentle delivery, that wouldn't work as well. They might need a little bit more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Good advice. Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. Then next time, I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now who's next? Natsuki? Mm-hmm. Natsuki is not amused by any of this. It's so funny. Don't make me go before Lizzie. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Lizzie lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki, you're very, very rude and so mean. I am a professional poet. Natsuki, it's fine, it's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me and I feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about the lack of confidence in your own writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called, why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting? Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting her poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well with spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving the poem life. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't too bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again. Do you at least feel a little prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. You just did it in front of other people. Like, make no sense. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I kind of understand that, because if I'm presenting something, it's better... If I'm presenting something, I mean, it's better if, like, you're presenting it in front of a bunch of strangers, because they don't know who you are. They don't know if... they don't know, like, who you are. They don't know what you like. They don't know if that's, like, your regular confidence or whatever, but, like, your friends, they already, like, know who you are. So it's, like, a little bit embarrassing if, like... you present something and it's like so different from like the person that you are. It's so I kind of understand. You won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope you all have an idea. Of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival. Okay? When is the festival? How many days is it in? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting all this effort into the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue with that. As far as the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Oh, so it's on Monday. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can't do this. All right. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do the best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Geez, guys, don't make such a big deal of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Lizzie, you don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I've seen a lot of people, like, they take the Sayori route for, like, who to impress. But I don't know, that just, like, because it makes sense to them, but I don't know, I just don't like it. Because, like, Sayori and the main character are, like, such good friends. And, like, I don't think that there should be anything, like, intimate between them. Which is why I'm, like, taking the Monica route. Because, like, he already likes Monica, so why wouldn't I do that? And Natsuki's a fucking crazy bitch. And Yuri's just really quiet, so... I don't know, Monica makes the most sense to me. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. Don't you usually space out? Ah, no wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to, Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well, I would walk home with Yuri. I would still walk home with Sayori. You're putting me on the spot, man. Is there like one that's like I would kindly refuse Yuri and still walk home with Sayori? That one? Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez, I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. So silly, Lizzie. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted to. So, Sayori, I've already made up my mind. So I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point of speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Interesting. Are we writing another poem? God damn it, I hate writing the poems. Joy, broken, frightening, peace, determination, aura, playground, analysis, incongruent, sticky, hurt, pain, vanilla, friends, raindrops, wrath, tears, intellectual, happiness, jumpy, there we go, good selection of all. Oh man, I'm the last one here again, don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination, starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy with that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. It's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? Of course, of all people. Yeah, I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name, Monica. What? Hey? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, the joke makes no sense. I didn't catch the joke. What's the joke? Never mind. Monica. What? Let's focus on your own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri and Sayori's anyway. Excuse me, where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori's sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. I'm sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Is everything all right? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone else. Well, alright, if you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back towards everyone else, but the conversation is already dispersed, and with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Lizzie, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading a little bit too much, maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind, but I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Lizzie. You certainly know a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bother her. But this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. What are you trying to do about that? I think that's what I said. She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just had a hard time bringing up with the person of, maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Lizzie. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know? She's been much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it's always been. You're funny, Lizzie. Have you thought about maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's just how she is when she's around you? Good point. I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my mind, out of my head. Maybe we should go the Sayori route. I don't know. I mean, if Sayori likes us, then I guess we should go the Sayori route then. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down beside Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her? I'm letting this weigh on me. I'm letting this weigh me down so much. Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everyone is back to normal. Everyone gets up to recite their poems and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica and she smiles with me. I wonder what she was talking with Sayori about. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, I think that... Should we go in the same order? Yeah, let's go in the same order. Let's do Sayori first. This is your best one so far. It's really, really nice, Lizzie. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Of course. Everything is fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Don't you want to take a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, Lizzie. I said that really weird. I'm a little surprised. I really thought you would be trying to write your poems like the way Yuri does. Or even Natsuki. But in the end, yeah, I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? You don't want to get closer with everyone else? Wait, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I need to try hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have to sometimes put up with me, and I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something, and this is how the poem came out. So it feels like you're the only one exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write when thinking about you. Sayori? No, Lizzie. I don't deserve this. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori, I glance around the room and make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori, I probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Well, tell me you will cheer up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Lizzie. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm so sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Something is not good with Sayori. Let's go with Natsuki next. A little fireball. This one's alright. Alright. Well, yeah, it's about as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course, at least I'm trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? No, gross. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us is in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? It's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Ooh. Oh, maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. Yeah, that elbow into the stomach really felt like a choke. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I really should just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, Natsuki holds up her poem to me and like nothing even happened. I'll be your beach. Your mind is full of troubles and fears that diminishes your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand, wash your insecurities in the salty sea, and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail, set you free in my windy sail, and remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought you had left you long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. That was hard to read. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kind of hard to write anything negative about the beach. So you decided to write about the beach first and then came up with a message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing. She wanted to pick a topic and have both of us write about it or whatever. You can really see her doing that too. I don't know how to read things. Making us write about a simple topic and then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's something wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. All right, next up is Yuri. Well done, Lizzie. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember that Monica, I think we've all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid of the whole thing would be a chore, but it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's fun getting to know everyone in their writing. I guess doing some doing some writing for myself. Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Lizzie? Well, you know how I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer, and even my opinions are just opinions, you know? As well, I believe that's the most important, what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. It's kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated in your writing and have the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. For me to have become someone whose opinion is so fearsome. How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just mean that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come out with those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. Oh, that's so sad. What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay, here. Oh yes, the wonderful handwriting. Beach. Okay. Same topic. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of the earth chaotically meets the surface, under the clear blue sky an expansive bliss, but beneath the gray rolling clouds an endless enigma. The easiest would get lost in. It's is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sand castle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tides come. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in, or will a sudden wave send it crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, an outcome is the same, and yet we still build sand castles. I stand where the foam wraps up around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle yet powerful. I stick my toes in the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turning back, I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward, I return to the earth forevermore. That was very different than Natsuki's. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yet Natsuki already told me about it. She did? Yeah, she did. Did she say anything weird? Did she? She wanted us to write about the same topic again. I suppose to better compare the differences of our writing styles or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she wanted to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. But, well, I suppose it's not bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. And Monica, last but not least. Hi Lizzie, have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing much of her this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me about how Sayori's been a little bit off today. Yeah, did she tell you something? Well, Lizzie, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. I've been treating her like I always do. Alright, just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Sayori's acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time for talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. This is a long one. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders earth. The lady knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. I am here. A feather. Lost adrift, the victim of currents in the wind. Day after day I search but with little I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering with the twilight sky, until one day the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, hand of a beautiful lady. I look into her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. Cool stuff. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are all sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical, because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everyone was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone else. You mean one-dimensional? Yes, that. Here's Monica's writing tip for the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid that it's not good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much effort into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things that you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yes, find like-minded people. That's the best policy in life, in everything you do, in school, at work, wherever. Find like-minded people, and you will be happy. That's my advice for the day. Okay, so we are going to save the game. We'll put it into a new slot. It's Monica talking again. It's fine. So we are going to quit. So, I really want to get to the horror part of this game, but in next episode we will, I guess. So yeah, that was another interesting episode. So maybe we will go the Sayori route again. Maybe, perhaps we will. Perhaps we will. You never know. Because I think that Sayori actually does like us, and maybe it makes a little bit more sense to go the Sayori route and not the Monica route, because if Monica doesn't like us and Sayori does, then we'll go towards Sayori, path of least resistance. But yeah, so hopefully in the next episode we will get to the horror part of the game, because I'm really excited to play that part, because I'm very excited to get a little creeped out by this game. So, thank you guys so much. I can't even do my outro anymore. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and that is all for now. Stay lost, my friends, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!